As fans, we have our hang-ups, and continuity has to be amongst the biggest. I still wake up in the middle of the night, drenched in sweat, thinking about the continuity of the X-Men movies, and the addition of a multiverse has done little to help the situation. Doctor Who, at first glance, is yet another continuity minefield. The show has been around for so long that, just like long-running comic books, it contradicts itself every once in a while, usually after changes to the creative team. The best example of this I can think of is the question of the Doctor's age. He's claimed to be various ages throughout the show, sometimes implying that hundreds of years have elapsed between episodes. All this plus reboots, parallel worlds, and of course time travel, makes the situation seem even worse. But in fact, Doctor Who's continuity is incredibly simple. And I'm going to explain why to all you poor, unenlightened folks, so shine up your third eye and prepare to be underwhelmed. Time travel is one of the most common and convoluted elements of modern science fiction, and the rules vary immensely, but usually stories fall into two camps. First, there are intractable timelines, more common to more serious science fiction, in which any change a time traveler attempts to make is futile, and their actions will simply cause things to occur in their original form. And then there is the more common idea, often based on the dubious science of string theory, that time can be changed, and doing so often results in the creation of multiple timelines and alternate realities. Doctor Who has fallen into both of these camps during its long run, with time an intractable force in some stories and a malleable mass of timey-wimey energy in others. But it's generally accepted that time can be changed, and indeed has been, many times, as demonstrated by the show's oubliette of canceled timelines. All of this chronological meddling means that the universe of Doctor Who is, from a temporal point of view, a damn mess. It's a house that's been remodeled, knocked down, rebuilt in another country, then set on fire, and at this point, even the most determined flipper wouldn't touch it. This is both the cause and the effect of many of the show's peculiarities, like multiple events leading to both life evolving on Earth and the creation of the universe itself. This is great news, because it means we've reached the point where creatives don't need to be restrained by a strict continuity, and the rest of us can theoretically stop worrying and just watch the timeline burn. But these textual explanations for long-term narrative inconsistencies are not necessarily satisfying, especially in terms of character. In fact, I'd argue that consistency of character is the most important kind of continuity, even above aesthetic presentation and lore. It's why Sherlock Holmes can appear in vastly different interpretations in different media and remain a recognizable character as long as he doesn't beat up old ladies and think science is for nerds. The Doctor is a very consistent character overall, but has changed over the years in the ways people do and in other ways. The transition from the Doctor as a cantankerous human scientist to an alien exile was its first major retcon, creating an H.G. Wells-esque parallel universe that we have preserved in amber via the Peter Cushing movies. Then in 1996, the TV movie made the most controversial changes in having the Doctor not only be revealed to be half human, but also have him romantically involved with his companion. There had been some hints of this in the old show, but nothing this explicit, and fans were shocked, fanning themselves and fainting at grand balls across the country. Luckily, the messed-up timeline ate up the half-human thing, and it hasn't been heard from since, but the kissing has stayed, and I, for one, have made peace with it. More importantly, the 2005 reboot introduced a lot of off-screen lore that led into the Doctor's state of mind as the last survivor of horrific events, leading to some of Ecclestone's greatest moments as the character. Subsequent attempts to tinker with the Doc's backstory have not gone as well, with failure to add to the character surely a bigger sin than retconning Time Lord history. The Time War shows you can drop a bomb into the character's narrative, but there has to be real change and consequences, or else it doesn't feel worth it. Generally, though, whatever the era, the Doctor is a good guy or gal, and that's what's most important. That they should always try to do the best for people whilst doing no harm, and moments that deviate from this stand out far more than a different costume or date. So in summary, Doctor Who's timeline is a chaotic mess. It is Azathoth, the blind idiot god at the heart of the universe, and trying to find logic in its machinations is a path that leads only to inevitable madness. But if you can make peace with that, and don't stare too long into the sun, you can just enjoy the show as it comes and not worry about timeless children or lung barrows or extra regenerations. And frankly, I don't mind if the creators don't care about long-term continuity, as long as the show stays true to the spirit that's kept it going all these decades, and the Doctor remains the Doctor, wherever they end up. I am still not Burt Reynolds.